Okay, so sometimes in the Google Classroom, you will have a student who tells you that something's missing or it looks funky to you as the teacher. And this is probably the weirdest one. If you see a student, and so this is an example I gave, this is the assignment was sent with the labeled no attachments. It was sent with a slide and then 3 view-only documents. Now, if I look at student work, I notice that one student has been working on their stuff, and then this other student, it doesn't say no attachments. It actually says drive file. Sometimes it'll say unknown or unavailable file. If that is the case, and you end up seeing this kind of weird ghost Google Drive file, you might be wondering what's going on, and the student might as well, because this is the teacher side. If I jump over to the student, this is what the student's seeing. The student is seeing this unknown drive file here. Now, in this situation, what has actually happened is the student has deleted the file out of their actual Google Drive. So I'm going to show you how that happens. If I go to another student in that same class and I go to their Google Drive, you'll see that there's all kinds of work. What most people do not realize is that Google Classroom makes a folder for you. And in this Google Classroom folder is any folder for any class you've ever taken and any assignment you've ever done. Lots and lots of stuff. Now, you can go into your Google Drive and delete stuff. So, for example, you can delete the entire Google Classroom folder. I don't recommend it, but you can. You can go into that folder and start torching any of this stuff. But what some students do is they'll go to like My Drive, or they'll go to Recent especially. They'll see an item and they'll try and say they want to organize or get rid of stuff. They'll end up deleting it, which puts it in their trash, and then they'll end up emptying the trash. Now remember, this is PK iPads, just so we're keeping track here. They're the one that had the circle on it. So they empty their trash. They've now cleared this file out of their Google Drive. Now when they go to Google Classroom and they try and go do their work, they've now triggered this unknown file. So see, it says drive file unknown. On the teacher side, all of a sudden the teacher, when they refresh, they now have 2 students who have unknown drive files. Now the first thought is Google ate it. Well, Google didn't eat it. It's just the student deleted it out of Classroom and then removed it from the drive by emptying the trash. So what is your option? How do you fix it? The fix is, as long as it's within about 25 days from the time they cleared it out of their drive completely, you can contact your Google G Suite administrator, and that administrator can go in and bring the files back. Once they bring the files back, then the student can re-add them, because what will happen is when it gets brought back, this file would then end up being recovered back into their Google Drive, and they would be able to go into their Google Drive, into the Classroom folder, and find it again. But if you see an unknown file situation, that is a contact your G Suite administrator as fast as possible so that you can get a recovery, especially if the student and you as the teacher kind of have a general timeline, like, oh, it disappeared 2 days ago. The G Suite administrator can bring back stuff that was deleted out of their Google Drive for only 2 days versus going for a week or something. Best practices, I always tell students when they're in their Google Drive, don't delete stuff if they don't have to. G Suite for Education students don't have to delete anything if they don't want. They basically have unlimited storage. Number 2, you definitely do not want to delete out of Shared With Me, Recent, or Starred. These areas, especially Recent and Shared With Me, aren't really organizable, if that's a word. This is your stuff. You don't want to start messing with Shared With Me and Recent because you don't necessarily own that stuff.